Today we're going to be talking about 12 gifts to get for that filmmaker, videographer, photographer in your life. Or hey, maybe even for you to make your own Christmas list, because I don't know if you're aware, but we're historically difficult to buy for. So without further ado, starting from least expensive to most expensive, the first gift on our list is the Movo VXR10 mini shotgun mic. Having great sound for your videos is incredibly important, and one of the easiest ways to achieve that is simply by just adding an external microphone onto your camera. And one of the best budget options, and honestly, maybe even the only option that you need depending on what you're creating, is this little Movo mini shotgun mic. It's so tiny, but don't let that fool you. The sound quality is absolutely incredible. This set comes with a windscreen to help you record outside, and it also comes with a cable that is going to allow you to hook it up to your mobile device. And with those two things paired up, you've really got an amazing compact setup to take around with you. The Falconeyes F7 Mini. Everybody can use a compact light, or 5. And this little tiny RGB light can change to pretty much any color under the rainbow. It's pocket-sized, it's magnetic, it has a ton of cool lighting effects like a campfire, like a police car, like lightning, and it can even hook up to an app that will allow you to control it wirelessly. And at $53, this thing comes with a case, a diffuser, a honeycomb grid, this super cool little locking articulating arm thing, which is a really cool stocking stuffer all by itself. And you can never have too many of these. I seriously put this on my wish list every single year because I find it such a fantastic tool. Next up is the Ravpower filehub. This next gift is definitely on my list this year. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a shoot and you run out of space on your SD card, but you don't have a backup? Well, this little gadget allows you to export all of your files off of that SD card onto an external hard drive without needing a computer. Not only that, it will also allow you to make any external hard drive that you're working off of wireless by creating its own wireless network, and it's also a Wi-Fi range extender. That's a whole lot of power in one little gadget, and if I get this, I'm definitely gonna be taking it on every single shoot and anytime I travel. Number 4 on the list is software and presets. A huge gift that's overlooked all the time is digital gifts. Software and presets are incredibly useful to any photographer filmmaker. I will never stick my nose up at presets or software, and there are so many cool things out there this year to give. So many YouTubers out there right now are creating and selling packs of all of the presets, all of the LUTs that they use, the different things that they have done in the software to make their workflows easier. And they're allowing people like us to get a hold of those and make our lives easier too. For instance, Matty Hapoya sells all of his LUTs. And something that I'm particularly interested in is his audio presets, because audio is one of those things that isn't super flashy and a lot of people don't spend a whole lot of time on. So what better to get something that you can drag and drop that's gonna make your stuff sound so much better. Moment is another really great place to look because they not only sell awesome gadgets, but they're selling courses now created by YouTubers teaching you how to do the things that they can do, and that's something that I'd love to get. There's also the neat video noise reduction plugin that I made a video about a couple of months ago, or even covering part of a subscription for Epidemic Sound would be absolutely amazing. And if you are wanting to get that tactile element and you do want to give them something to hold, Canva will actually allow you to create a gift card and they will print singles for $5. So you can customize your own gift card, have it printed out, and give them something to open up on the day. Filmmakers and photographers always have a ton of gear to carry around. And sometimes it's nice to have something that doesn't scream, I'm carrying $5,000 worth of camera equipment, which makes the Brevite Jumper a perfect fit. It's not a huge bag, but it can still carry a fair amount of gear around in its dedicated gear pocket that does have padded dividers. And it's also got a separate area for other loose things that don't necessarily need to be padded. It's got a laptop sleeve, it's got other pockets for your stuff, it's even got a little passport pocket. It's a really neat bag. And it also comes in a ton of cool colors, and it's really nice looking. Now, I do have a Brevite bag, although it's not the jumper. I kind of wish that I had gotten the jumper, but I can tell you from experience that it has stood up to a beating. I do not treat it nicely, and it has held up perfectly. So I can highly, highly recommend this bag, and with all those colors, there's something for everyone. Next up is the PGYTECH MantisPod Pro, and if you are a vlogger or you are shopping for a vlogger, this should be on the top of your list, period, because it is the best mini tripod. And in fact, I love it so much that I dedicated an entire video to it. You can extend it out even further to give people an even better view of what's going on around you, and this especially works well with small cameras like the Sony ZV-1 that don't have a wide angle lens. And the craziest part is that it has this little claw that pops out that allows you to hook it onto all sorts of stuff, allowing you to record yourself hands-free. It's also worth noting that the quick release system is fantastic, and the plate that comes with it is literally the best I've ever used, and best part is it will actually fit in with the Peak design system. So if you already have Peak design stuff and you get this, you can really take advantage of this plate because it does not come loose. It's fantastic. It's not enough to just be a drone pilot anymore because FPV drones are taking over, and I don't know if you've noticed, but they are quite a bit more difficult to fly. And that is why the Beta FPV drone kit saves the day. This tiny little drone can actually be flown inside, and it's got modes from beginner all the way to advanced so that you can learn how to fly FPV without having to worry about breaking a super expensive piece of equipment. And it's really cute too. This kit comes with the drone, the controller, and the FPV goggles, so you are all set. And this kit is actually #1 on my list this year. Everybody needs a good lens, and one of the best lenses out there, especially when you're talking about bang for your buck, is the 50mm 1.8 lens, also known as the Nifty 50 because of the quality you get for the incredibly low price. This is a lens that any videographer or photographer would love to have in their kit because it's super small, incredibly lightweight, and it's really versatile because it's not too wide, but it's also not too much of a zoom lens either. It's that perfect middle ground, and in fact, it's supposed to be the closest to what the human eye actually sees. It also creates beautiful, creamy, buttery, blurry backgrounds, and it's pretty flattering in almost any situation. I actually only had a Nifty 50 for probably the first 2 or 3 years that I had a camera, and it never let me down in any situation. For #8, I've got another microphone for you, but this one is wireless. The Rode Wireless Go Lav mic is probably one of the coolest gifts that I'm gonna talk about today because of all of the stuff it can do. First, it allows you to mic yourself up or someone else that you're filming and let them be across the room from the camera, moving around. It may be in a situation where a shotgun mic is really not gonna do the job well, and it does it wirelessly. But that's not all. It has a built-in clip, so if you want to, you can just clip it right onto your jacket or shirt and use it like that with no other accessories. But from there, you can even add on a wireless clip-on lav to get even closer, like the Rode Lavalier Go. But you can also use it to make other microphones wireless too. So instead of plugging in my lavalier mic, I could plug in my shotgun mic or any other mic I have and allow it to be transmitted to my camera wirelessly, which means no cords to trip over. You can get a single microphone by itself for $199, or just recently they came out with a pack of 2 with a few extra updates, and you can get that for $299. Are you still with me? Sometimes you need a super small camera to put into super tight, super unique situations. Or maybe you even need a camera that you can do stuff to that you would never do to your regular camera. That's where an action camera really comes into play. And you've got several to choose from, starting with the mainstay, the newest GoPro Hero 10. You cannot go wrong with this action camera. You've also got the newest DJI Osmo Action 2, which is super tiny and it's magnetic, so you can stick it onto things, They've even got a pendant so you can stick it onto your chest. But the ultimate action camera, in my opinion, is the 360 camera. And if you're gonna get one of those, you might as well go with the best, which is the Insta360 One X2. But why a 360 camera over just a classic action camera? It's because you can take all of your video and choose what you want to appear on screen later. This means you don't really have to pay attention while you're filming, meaning you can go snowboarding, biking, horseback riding. It doesn't matter. As long as you're holding that camera out there and it's turned on, you can choose what you want to be looking at later, giving you the ability to fully concentrate on whatever it is that you are doing. And that's not even the coolest part, because it has an invisible selfie stick. Now, it only works if you're using the Insta360 brand selfie stick, but it literally looks like you have your own personal mini drone following you around. Any filmmaker would be over the moon to get one. This next one may seem a little frivolous, but I promise you it's worth it. Since I have gotten the Peak Design Travel Tripod, I have been so happy. It folds up so small and yet extends so tall. It fits in my bag perfectly, and the quick release mount is just absolutely fantastic. I have a quick release on everything now, and my life is a million times happier. Now, it's worth noting that this tripod comes in two flavors. You've got the aluminum that you can get for $350, and you've got the carbon fiber for $599. Now, I opted for the aluminum instead of the carbon fiber to save a little bit of money, but I still think that the aluminum is absolutely fantastic, despite the fact that I do know that the carbon is lighter. Number 11 is the Mavic Mini 2. And there are plenty of reasons that anyone would be so excited to unwrap this tiny little drone, aside from the fact that it's itty bitty and super cute. Despite being the least expensive drone in the Mavic lineup, this thing still does 4K video, up to 31 minutes of flight time, up to 6 miles of transmission. It's also got a ton of beginner features built right in. And the fact that it's so tiny makes it really easy to travel with. It hardly takes up any room. And you have a huge advantage in the fact that this thing weighs less than 250 grams, which means that you don't have to register it in the States as long as you are flying recreationally, and this is gonna allow you to get around a lot of red tape if you're traveling abroad. Now last, you're probably expecting me to say a camera, and I would be saying a camera if the Sony A7 IV were definitely going to be out in time for people to get their hands on it. And that's not saying that there aren't some awesome cameras out there, but there's something that makes me super happy that I want to share with you, and that is the magic of the one wheel. And so that is number 12 on my list. I gifted myself with a pint last year for my birthday, and this has become probably the most important tool in my filming kit aside from my camera. I take it to every single shoot I go on, especially the races and the events that I film, because it allows me to get around quickly. It also allows me to get super unique shots and angles, and it's just really, really fun to have around. And now is actually a perfect time to look into one, because One Wheel actually just came out with several new options. Aside from just the Pint and the XR, you've got the Pint X and the GT, so you can go even further, faster. Although, I don't know if I want to go any faster. I think that I'm moving quickly enough, thank you very much. So those are my top 12 gifts for 2021. And if you hurry, you've got just enough time to get these wrapped up and under the tree. And until next time, I wish you so much luck in your holiday shopping, and I hope that you have very, very happy holidays.